Good afternoon. I'm here to present to the board as to why the funds that have been allocated for different charities should go to the charity of my choosing. I know we have selected or set aside about $5,000 to give to various organizations throughout the Minnesota, North Dakota, Midwest area, and the charity that I have chosen to present to the board today is called the Fallen Outdoors. To give you a little bit of backstory about the Fallen Outdoors, it was created back in 2009 in a mountaintop in northern Afghanistan. The founders of the Fallen Outdoors were all three infantrymen with the United States Army active duty that were deployed together and in the same unit. Eric Bakken, who is now the president and CEO of the Fallen Outdoors, Eric Finneganam, hopefully I pronounced his name right. Most from everything that I had heard, he's always just referred to as Finn. And then John Bates. Eric Bakken and Finn were very, very close from everything that I have heard through podcasts and through interviews. Those two were very, very close. And unfortunately, Finn did not make it through that. He was a founding member of the Fallen Outdoors and really what the company bases a lot of its morals off of. Finn was a very great person who wanted to be a part of every sort of outdoors adventure. He grew up in the Philippines, and the way he got his American citizenship was through joining the United States Army. And when he didn't make it back from Afghanistan, Eric Bakken and John Bates really dedicated everything that they could do with the Fallen Outdoors to the memory of Specialist Finnegan. What they created the Fallen Outdoors to do was really just to get people outdoors. All three of them were avid outdoorsmen, whether it be hunting, fishing, camping, canoeing, kayaking, really anything that has to do with the outdoors. A lot of times when people think of the outdoors, they just think of hunting and fishing. And a lot of it is, that's exactly what it is. But they wanted to go beyond that. They felt that being outdoors was very therapeutic to people, and they didn't want to just limit it to just hunting and fishing. And so they created the Fallen Outdoors as a all-encompassing organization. And so that was their original purpose, was just to get to people outdoors and really just, get veterans to talk with other veterans and be a part of that community a little bit more and teach them lifelong lessons. And what it has morphed into is PTSD. PTSD being something that a lot of people think of immediately when you hear the term veteran. And it's something that is very prevalent within the veteran community and something that really needs to be addressed. And the people at the Fallen Outdoors, the different staff members, as well as, it sits very heavily with the CEO, Eric Bakken, is that the Fallen Outdoors, getting people outdoors doing different activities, whether it be hunting, fishing, or canoeing, hiking, kayaking, anything, is the best kind of therapy for PTSD. The way that they are able to do this is this is a nationwide organization. It's not just North Dakota, Minnesota. There are different, the Fallen Outdoors is split up into regions, and then it's split up into chapters as well. So each region of the country, whether it be the Midwest, the Southwest, Northeast, it's all split. The country is divided into, I believe it was 6 regions. And so within those regions, obviously there are each individual states. There are 50 states in the United States, and all but 4 of them have chapters within them. What I was able to do is I was able to reach out and get in contact with the North Dakota chapter head, Joel Campbell. Very nice gentleman. Him and I had a half-hour-long phone call where we talked everything from whether or not the Vikings were going to win that week, or all the way to his whole life story. I was able to learn a lot about Joel's life personally, and was able to get a very good sense of what the North Dakota chapter of the Fallen Outdoors does. With it being North Dakota, obviously where there's not a ton of lakes and all of that, so they're much less focused on hiking and canoeing. They definitely do some of that stuff. A lot of what they focus on here in North Dakota is going to be small game, so different waterfowl. They don't do a lot of big game hunts like deer. They've done a lot of fishing trips as well up to Devil's Lake. That's one of their biggest things that they do every year is a Devil's Lake fishing trip. They do a lot of fishing trips up to Devil's Lake, but one of the things that they also do a lot of is like coyote hunts. Coyotes are very vast. There are a lot of coyotes in North Dakota, and so a lot of farmers want them gone, and the Fallen Outdoors North Dakota chapter really just said, yeah, we will help you with your varmint problem, and they have found is a very good therapy session for a lot of those veterans that are suffering from PTSD. The way that they get a lot of their funding, and almost all of their funding actually, is through different fundraising opportunities. So everybody's heard of like a Ducks Unlimited banquet. If you're from the Midwest, you've probably heard of that. Ducks Unlimited banquets happen like once a year, and it's a major fundraising event. They do different silent auctions, there's a dinner, basically it's just a great time for people to be able to get together and be able to intermingle with all of the people that share a lot of the same interests as themselves. The Fallen Outdoors is no different. They have a huge banquet right here in Fargo every single year. Usually it happens around the August time frame. They do a lot of the same thing of what Ducks Unlimited do in their banquets. They have a silent auction. They play games. That is a big difference between the Fallen Outdoors banquets and Ducks Unlimited banquets. Is the Fallen Outdoors banquets actually play games. Joel has told me that they've done poker tournaments before, all the way to cornhole. They really try and make their banquets to just be a great time. Another way that they have gotten some funding, it's not a ton, but some funding has come from different TV appearances, mostly just to promote the Fallen Outdoors, though. Most of their fundraising, most of their money does come from different fundraising opportunities. One of the things that Joel did tell me about the money that comes into the Fallen Outdoors is it's up to the states individually to raise the funds for the different trips that they go on. That being said, they don't limit it to who can go to what based on what state you live in. Obviously, Grand Forks, Fargo, we're right on the Minnesota-North Dakota border. If I wanted to go be a part of a Minnesota fishing trip and it just happened to be, like let's say Alexandria, and I wanted to go do a fishing trip in Alexandria, he had said that I'm more than welcome to do that. They're not going to tell me no just because I live in Fargo, North Dakota. They're very open to having anybody who wants to come. One of the other things that I thought was really cool about the Fallen Outdoors is it is a 100% nonprofit. So everybody from the lowest level staff member all the way up to the CEO, the founder, Eric Bakken, it's all volunteer. Every dollar, every penny that they make goes into different organizations or different trips, anything that can help veterans, whether it be just veterans like, me, myself. When I got back from the Middle East, I didn't really know what to do with my life. I knew I didn't really want to go back and do the same thing that I was doing before I deployed. And they helped me out a little bit. I'm not suffering from PTSD. I'm not going to claim that I am. But they definitely helped give me a little bit of direction. And that's why, I've started to get involved with it. With my life being as crazy as it is, I had told Joel that, I would love to be a staff member one day of the Fallen Outdoors, but unfortunately at this time, I can't give that much time. But, he gave me his phone number. We've texted it a couple times after that. And he said that, whenever there's an event coming up, that he's going to shoot me a text and just let me know. See if I can help out. If I can help that weekend, he said they'd love the help. They do love to have any sort of help that they possibly can. But so that's kind of that's my presentation for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys take into consideration the Fallen Outdoors when it comes to some of that funding that you've set aside for different nonprofits throughout the state and the region. Thank you.